Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says our thoughts are still ignorant, our aspiration is still imperfect, it must be purified. Our action is still powerless, it must become effective. With always our love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo Savitri. Book 3, the Book of the Divine Mother, Canto 4, The Vision and the Boon, page 378. Then, suddenly, there rose a sacred stir amid the lifeless silence of the void. In a solitude and an immensity, a sound came quivering like a loud football heard in the listening spaces of the soul. A touch perturbed his fibers with delight. An influence had approached the mortal range. A boundless heart was near his longing heart. A mystic form enveloped his earthly shape. All at her contact broke from silence seal. Spirit and body thrilled, identified, linked in the grasp of an unspoken joy. Mind, members, life were merged in ecstasy. Intoxicated as with nectarous rain, his nature's passioning stretches flowed to her, flashing with lightnings, mad with luminous wine. All was a limitless sea that heaved to the moon. A divinizing stream possessed his veins, his body cells awoke to spirit's sense, each nerve became a burning thread of joy. Tissue and flesh partook beatitude. Allied, the dun, unplumbed subconscious caves thrilled with the prescience of a longed-for tread and filled with flickering crests and praying tongues. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, Volume 2, Words of the Mother, Part 3, Elements of Yoga, Subtopic, Trust in the Divine Grace and Help. Our Divine Mother says, the grace is infinite for him who sincerely trusts the grace. The divine grace is always with you, and by your trust, you allow its action to be effective. It is in proportion to our trust in the divine that the divine's grace can act for us and help. Integral trust in the divine is the trust that gives us true support to life. Our trust in the divine must not depend upon outward circumstances. Very few are those who can stand firm on the rock of their faith and trust in the divine. Our Divine Mother says, it is absurd to ask for help and yet to have no trust. On the contrary, with confidence, everything becomes so easy. With trust in the Divine's grace, all obstacles can be surmounted. When we trust in the divine's grace, we get an unfailing courage. Have full trust in the divine's grace, and the divine's grace will help you in all ways. Like the child who does not reason and has no care, trust thyself to the divine that his will may be done. Whatever happens, we must remain quiet and trust the divine's grace. Keep a cool head, strong and very quiet nerves, and a complete trust in the divine's grace. Our Divine Mother says aspiration for trust in the divine is an intense need for that immutable peace given by the certitude of the divine's grace. Nothing can be compared to the peace that comes from a total trust in the grace. Leave all care to the divine's grace, including your progress, and you will be in peace. Question, sweet mother, how can I subdue the children's naughtiness when I tremble before it? How can I call down an atmosphere in which these wrong moments will not occur? No bad talk will come from the children's lips. How can I bring peace and wisdom in this chaotic mob? I am too weak, too shy. How should I act so as to be able to control this moment in them? For this, our Divine Mother says, in order to bring peace and wisdom, one must be wise and peaceful. You must say that you are weak, but nobody is asking you to rely on your own strength. Your strength, your wisdom, your peace belongs to the divine. You must rely on Him alone. Have an absolute trust in the grace. Set aside your little personality. Set aside your little personality and allow the grace to act. It will make you do what is needed and everything will be alright. Our Divine Mother says the more one knows, the more one realizes that one knows nothing. For one who has total trust in the Divine, in His wisdom and mercy, there are no more problems. The triumph of the Divine is certain. If we keep the true trust, we shall never take the wrong path. Next subtopic, the divine grace and difficulties. Our Divine Mother says it is only by remaining perfectly peaceful and calm with an unshakable confidence and faith in the divine grace that you will allow circumstances to be as good as they can be. The very best happens always to those who have put their entire trust in the divine and in the divine alone. A Divine Mother says, when in your life you meet with a hardship, take it as a grace from the Lord, and indeed it will become so. A Divine Mother says, in any case, whatever happens, always consider events as a gift from the divine grace, which is leading you by swift paths towards the spiritual goal of your life. What can be done will be done, but it is a matter of regret that you waited so long for the warning. In any case, the only thing which is really effective is to will what the divine wills and to keep an unshakable confidence in the supreme compassion of the divine grace, for through that it is always the best that happens, not the best according to the human ideas, but the best according to the supreme truth. Be calm and full of solid and pure faith. I have received your letter and understand your aspiration. The only thing to do is to accept quietly the conditions in which you find yourself, knowing that for him who has faith in the divine is always the best for him that happens. The divine does not want human beings to suffer. The divine does not want the human beings to suffer, but in their ignorance, human beings react in such a way that they bring suffering upon themselves. In peace, quietness and surrender is the only solution.
Then you do something else, and there still be no.
All depends on what you want. If you want yoga, take all that happens as the expression of the divine's grace leading you towards your goal and try to understand the lesson that circumstances give.
Let us all try to be worthy of Shobino's centenary.
A Divine Mother says, for those who have given themselves to the divine, each difficulty that confronts them is the assurance of a new progress and thus must be taken as a gift from the grace. When difficulties besiege you, know that the divine's grace is with you. People believe that the grace means everything smooth for all your life. It is not true. The grace works for the realization of your aspiration, and everything is arranged to gain the most prompt, the quickest realization. A Divine Mother says the grace is something that pushes you towards the goal to be attained. Do not try to judge it by your mind. You will not get anywhere because it is something formidable which is not explained through human words or feelings. When the grace acts, the result may or may not be pleasant. It takes no account of any human value. It may even be a catastrophe from the ordinary and superficial point of view, but it is always the best for the individual. It is a blow that the divine sends so that the progress may be made by leaps and bounds. The grace is that which makes you march swiftly towards the realization. A Divine Mother says of one thing we must be convinced all that happens is exactly what must happen in order to lead us and the world as quickly as possible to the goal, the union with the divine, and ultimately the manifestation of the divine. And this faith, sincere and constant, is at once our help and protection, says our Divine Mother. Next subtopic, devotion and self giving. Our Divine Mother says devotion is modest and fragrant. It gives itself without seeking for anything in return. Devotional attitude is moderate, self effacing. It gives remarkable fruit. A devotion that keeps concentrated and silent in the depths of the heart, but manifests in acts of service and obedience, is more powerful, more true, more divine than any shouting and weeping devotion. Sincere devotion is much more effective than the Ganges water. Worship is a form of the outer expression of our devotion. True worship is constant and total without any demand. Offering. Our Divine Mother says life must blossom like a flower, offering itself to the divine. The only offering that truly enriches is the one made to the divine. Offering, the placing of your entire being, the placing of your entire being with all its moments, true and false, good and bad, right and wrong, before the divine for transformation is offering. Offer sincerely to the divine your obscurities, and you will be able to receive the light. The offering of our being we make to the divine must be integral and effective. Integral offering is the surest word to realization. Unconditional integral offering is the joy of offering oneself without asking for anything in return. Next subtopic, consecration. Our Divine Mother says consecration is the consummation when the light has illumined all the parts of your being with a central will acting on the feelings, impulses, thoughts, emotions, activities directly, directing them always towards the divine. And when you move no more from darkness to light or from falsehood to truth, or from misery to happiness, but from light to more light, from truth to greater truth, from happiness to increasing happiness. Our Divine Mother says it is in a sincere consecration to the divine that we can find relief from two human sufferings. The quiet mind, once gets through meditation, is indeed of short duration, for as soon as you come out from meditation, you come out at the same time from the quietness of the mind. The true lasting quietness in the vital and physical, as well as in the mind, comes from a complete consecration to the divine. For when you can no more call anything, not even yourself, yours, when everything, including your body, sensations, feelings, and thoughts, belongs to the divine takes the entire responsibility of all, and you have nothing to worry about. A sincere consecration of all you are, all you do is for the sadhana much more effective than meditation. True love and consecration lead much quicker to the divine than an arduous tapasya, says our Divine Mother. Self-giving. Self-giving is a true prayer. Self-giving, by this the whole being gets progressively unified round the central psychic being. Give yourself up. It is the best way of finding yourself. Give yourself all that you are, what you do to the divine, and you will have peace. Give yourself entirely to the divine, and you will see the end of all your troubles. It is a sincere self giving that saves one from all difficulties and dangers. Our Divine Mother says, never say, I have nothing to give to the divine. There is always something to give, for always you can give yourself in a better and more complete way. To the divine, you're worth no more than what you have given him. To give the divine what one has in excess is not an offering. One should give at least something out of what one needs. If you remember what you have given to the divine, he will have no need of remembering of himself. If you ever mention the gift or speak of it to anybody, it is not the divine that you have made the offering, but to the demon of your vanity. Entire self giving, fully open, clear, and pure. Our Divine Mother says, do not confuse psychic realization with spiritual realization, because psychic realization will leave you within time and space, within the manifested universe, whereas the effect of spiritual realization will be to project you outside all creation, outside time and space. There is no more perfect joy than to give oneself totally to that which is greater than oneself. God, supreme origin, divine presence, absolute truth. It does not matter what name we give him or what aspect we mostly approach him through. To forget oneself totally in an integral consecration is the surest path towards realization. How beautiful, grand, and simple and calm everything becomes when our thoughts turn to the divine. We give ourselves to the divine. We must know how to give our life, also our death, our happiness, also our suffering. Our Divine Mother says three typical modes of total self giving to the Divine. First, to prostrate oneself at His feet, giving up all pride in perfect humility. Second, to unfold one's being before Him, open one's whole body from head to foot as one opens a book, exposing one's sinners so as to make all their movements visible in a complete sincerity that allows nothing to remain hidden. Third, to nestle in his arms, to merge in him in a loving and absolute trust. These moments, says our Divine Mother, may be accompanied by three formula or any one of them according to the case. First, let thy will be done and not mine. Second, as thou willest, as thou willest. Third, I am thine for eternity. Generally, says our Divine Mother, when these moments are done in a true way, they are followed by a perfect identification, dissolution of the ego, and giving rise to a supreme felicity. Three steps towards supreme identification. Give all you have, this is the beginning. Give all you do, this is the way. Give all you are, this is the fulfillment. I have read and heard one should give oneself to the divine. I do not understand how one should give oneself, says a child to the Divine Mother. For this, our Divine Mother says, with your thought, give your thoughts. With your heart, give your feelings. With your body, give your work. Above all words, above all thoughts, in the luminous silence of an aspiring faith, give yourself totally, unreservedly, absolutely to the Supreme Lord of all existence, and He will do of you what He wants you to be. With always our love and blessing, says our Divine Mother.